It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paycor Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1, and he'll be stopped up at the 25. Hurts throwing right away. Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he'll get this up to the 39. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards for number 11.
That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll go to Barkley again. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Quick slant, Dotson.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Touchdown, Eagles!
Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Could not have scripted it any better. And many offenses do script their opening possession on offense. They followed that one perfectly. Took the ball right downfield and scored, giving energy not just to the offensive unit, but to their team overall.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 27.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 8. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That one taken in by T. Higgins.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
They will toss to Brown. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on to punt for the Bengals.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive.
They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That one complete down the field to Smith.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Hurts fumbles it.
And the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Burrow on play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And out now come the Eagles.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line.
On the tackle there was DJ Turner.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. A 1st down carry for Barkley. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40.
A big play there for Philly.
41 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Throwing is Hurts. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now it's Burrow. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He's to the 15.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Andre Yoshibas.
72 yards.
And the Bengals are back within a score.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Dotson in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
They'll run it again with Barkley.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
79 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this 1st half.
That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for... And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles are able to widen their advantage.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Elliott good with a PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Now Burrow. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Burrow. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
A handoff to Barkley on the option.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Hurts.
And his throw here's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. In motion left comes Brown. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, their first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati set to take over once again. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here. 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Open man is Yoshivas.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
He'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a 1-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the 1st down.
From midfield now, Burrow. And that, incomplete. Daylight in front if he could have held on, but he didn't. So instead, it's 2nd down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Burrow will throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here's Ryan Rico now
as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again.
And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Hurts to throw.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard.
Look at the big fella go.
And down to the 7-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Hurts fumbles it. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Elliott is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Now the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half for Burrow and company.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, They're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
This one complete to Yoshivas.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid ball. He ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
This is Brown going up the middle.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down.
And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 32. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Now it's Burrow. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap. to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 22 now, here's a 2nd and 7. Play action. Here's Hurts.
This is caught. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
This will be caught once again by Brown.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Fights off the defender.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And even 100 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Throwing is Hurts. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Saquon Barkley.
33 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
An inside give, Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd down, here's Brown.
And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks.
44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2.
Right back to Brown. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Burrow looking to pass.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They'll try and run for it with Brown. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, You just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now it's Burrow. Touchdown!
Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Hurts.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. In motion goes the tight end. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3-and-out.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now Burrow.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
They go play action with Burrow.
This will be caught by Brown. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
To the air again, Burrow. And this is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Burrow on his toes that time as they get the first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a give left side, Brown with it. He's got it to the 43 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. And Chase will go in motion left. On 2nd and 7, Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Thanks to his effort, they now have a big choice to make here. He just ran them into field goal range with that one, so here come the choices. Do they kick it here, or do they trust him to make another big play and possibly get a first down?
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Hurts to throw. It's caught. Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 106 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. First and 10.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a first and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Going right back to Dotson.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the night.
And the Eagles have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're almost in a no-win situation down here near the goal line. You know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when he holds on to it. You've got to be prepared to stay with him. So when he hands it off, if you're slow in reacting, this is going to be the result.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bengals offense returns to the field.
And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Here's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now it's Burrow. He'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Shotgun handoff to Brown here.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Open man is Yoshivas. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Second down and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. And Burrow going to throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Now 2nd down and a few inches. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow shakes off the sack. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. From the gun, a give to Brown. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Here we go on 4th down. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and 3. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And that should do it. He's got a first down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here.
Game in hand, the offense takes the knee.
Second and 11. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
So it's the Eagles who get the win here, and the guy who really led the way was their quarterback, CD, and that's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he was in complete control of this offense. He had 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And to be honest, he really made it look easy out there.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been YA Sports. From Cincinnati,